He is a human beatboxer. He is a brother who is a pioneer in hip-hop. He is my homeboy, Dougie Fresh. He, of course, performed last night to kick off this music festival. And we also caught up with him backstage. And here he is, our conversation. What's up, man?
Man, look, everything is good now. You here.
Always good to see you.
You know it's always good to see you.
Both of us came quite colorful for Cincinnati.
I mean, you know, I'm seeing you keeping your personal tailor intact. Always got something slick on.
Well, you know.
I always ask you, because, I mean, it's exclusive. And then I ask you, I say, yo, where you get it? Oh, yeah, I had that brought in. Yeah, I had that shipped in. I was like, yo, is he just saying this to me?
No, I got a white one that is going to be ready next week. I had the Kente ordered from Ghana.
Brother, and you know I've been to Ghana, so this is authentic.
Oh, yeah. No, I got a guy there who I say I want this. He makes it and then ships it to me.
Right, well, I mean, and you know, honestly, we got to have a conversation about that because you're the only guy that I see consistently with all these different authentic fabrics.
Well, you know, the thing for me is like, look, I got 8 tuxedos, I got 120 suits, but one, I want to be different. I want to be, and plus, people kept expecting me with the ascot, and I was like, see, that
was first.
Right, and people go like, what ascot? So I'm like, hold up. I said, I got to hit y'all with a curveball. So now they don't know what I'm going to come out with.
Brother, I'm telling you, you know I keep it 100. I have not seen nobody with your pieces on, man. Beautiful work, man. Beautiful pieces.
Man, let's talk about 50th anniversary of hip-hop. You've had all these different events, and folks have been focusing on it. And I really think you said something when we were in New Orleans. You talked about the importance of establishing the foundation and the history so those coming forward do not forget the 5 elements.
Right. Well, you know, one of the things that's interesting is that people don't understand. Sometimes we do things like in our history alone, and we don't understand the connection. I remember when I was in South Africa, and I seen some brothers and sisters dancing in a circle. And I said, yo, we used to do that at the rooftop in Harlem. And some of the things we do are just so natural, so authentic, so genetic. And when I'm looking at hip hop and I'm seeing all these generations, I think they need to understand why this happened, how this happened, and how to keep it going. So I'm always sharing with them because I say this too. I say, I got love for the artists that I hear today, but I respect the pioneers that paved the way. And I'm always trying to teach them about DJ Hollywood, Love Bug Starsky, Busy B, Curtis Blow, Cold Crush Brothers, fantastic, just Cool Herc, just people that I was fortunate enough to learn directly from, which made me have to push myself creatively and take a chance when nobody would take a chance.
I think the benefit today, I sort of look at, Ben and Alpha, we talk about our 7 jewels, where they all passed away. But I look at the National Association of Black Journalists. For me, a lot of our founders, they're still with us. So the benefit for many artists, they can still learn from those who created it. They're still here. Right. They just have to be willing to want to sit down and pick their minds and talk about it.
Right, and sometimes they do. Like if I run into Jeezy, we sat in his room and had conversations about hip hop. He asked me about Tupac. How was he? What was he like? Because the Tupac used to run around with me. So I'd tell him about Tupac, tell him about Biggie. And a lot of guys are interested in the information, but sometimes we got to slow it down. Kind of like when we get together, you know, I see you moving, but when we take a minute and we there, like when we was out there in Paisley and we talked and you got into that conversation and started breaking down, meaning like just information that you carry, you know, I think that we got to slow it down and have conversations amongst ourselves so that we can get a better understanding of this thing called hip hop. Because for it to last for 50 years, 50 years, and where it came from and where it's at now, It's a hell of a story, man.
And I think that what I look at, because I'm always following the money.
Of course.
You look at cats today, and they understand how we have to monetize our culture. I always say that other folk have gotten very rich off of us, and you're seeing folks who understand now. Owning clothing labels, owning spirits, owning aspects, not just signing marketing deals, not just signing endorsement deals. To me, I think that's the most important piece moving forward. Us monetizing this culture.
And you know what you're saying is so powerful because, see, we're so creative that we're just thinking creative, and we're not looking at monetizing the culture. And some people are mad when you see brothers and sisters out here making great money. I'm not, because I know how this is and I know how this was. I was one of the fortunate ones. I was able to own my masters at a very young age, own the publishing. Prince and me used to sit down and go through things. Me and Michael Jackson talked about the ownership of masters and publishing. James Brown was a little different. He told me, son, read your Bible and always take care of your feet and take care of your teeth.
Take care of your feet, take care of your teeth.
Take care of your feet and your teeth. And then I said, I was with his sister out in Augusta. I met his daughter out in Augusta. I said, you know what your father told me? I said, he told me to take care of my feet, my teeth. He said, exactly. He said, did he tell you your hair? I said, no, he seen I had a haircut. So I think he didn't know. But that's what I mean, that we don't talk to each other. I was telling Kane that when we don't talk to each other, we can't help each other, and we don't share with each other. Like what you doing with your station and the way that you got it going on. You know, I remember when you broke off and did this. You know what I mean? And we've been talking about it, and this is, you know, we got to inspire people to do what you did, to do what hip hop did. What you did is what hip hop did. Mm-hmm. So to me, I think sharing the information is important, educating people on it, and as you said, monetizing it, because a lot of this stuff is set up where we don't know how to build systems.
There you go.
And because we don't know how to build systems, we become a part of someone else's system. So we don't get the ownership we deserve. We just become part of that instead of building our own system like you did. And now it comes to you. And then you could spread it to all our brothers and sisters, you know?
When I read Uncle Luke's book, and he talked about when he was selling his own merchandise, and other cats they'd already sold off their stuff, and they were like, dude, what you doing? He was like, he said, I was making 30, 40 grand after every show. They had sold their rights off to somebody for $2,500, $5,000. And they were like, are you serious? And he said, the Diddy's of the world, a lot of these guys, he said Jay-Z's of the world, they saw what he was doing and they just took it to a whole new level. And that's why I think if you talk about the next 50 years of hip hop, it's really, again, us owning the creativity, and we say owning the culture. Like, I hate the phrase, I really do. I hate the phrase, do it for the culture. Because I then go, but are we owning it?
That's right, because there's a lot of people doing it for the culture and they don't own it. You know, and the other piece that I think to go the next 50 years that I think is one of the biggest things that we don't look at is your health. Because I think we are suffering as a people because of lack of information about health, different habits that we have, different things we need to break. You know, when I look at the entertainers, a lot of entertainers are sick. A lot of them are sick secretly.
Sick, don't have health care. Kane talked about that, and so many great hip hop artists we've lost. Not forget the folks not forget them, but the folks who died because of violence. But other folks who were just 30s and 40s and 50s, individuals never even barely getting to 50.
And you know, that's the next step for me because of me being such a part of it, and me being that fifth element in hip hop. I know that it's time for us to be more health conscious. So that's why I formulated this organization, Hip Hop Public Health. And I did it with my brother, Dr. Elijah Williams, who's a neurologist from Africa, Nigeria. We got together and we go around and we educate kids, we educate parents about different things, see different little symptoms that you can catch. Because a lot of us, Roland, some of us don't even want to go get a checkup. And then when it hit, you can't do nothing about it. You're on the other side of it, and you're chasing it if you catch it. So
I feel something. I go, okay, let's see how long that's gonna last. I got my doctor and dentist cell phone and home phone. Hey, look, I've been in other cities and gotten sick. I'm like, I need you to call in prescription. We ain't having that.
Look, and I tell them this. I say, yeah, it's definitely about getting the money, but I know health is wealth, and you get wealth from your health. There's a lot of people rich who can't even enjoy their lives because they're not even physically capable of enjoying their lives. So for me, for the next 50 years to be a powerful 50 years, we have to be healthy, and definitely we have to get our financials together. But you can't do that if you ain't healthy.
Right. I asked you this here because earlier you mentioned James Brown, and we talk about how he's been sampled a lot, but you've also been sampled with Lottie Dottie, and so talk about that again. How folk talk about the older artists, they're like sampling your stuff as well.
Look, the younger artists, the older artists, Lottie Dottie is something that there's really no words to describe it, but the main part of it, though, is we own it. We own it. We own the publishing. We own the masters. People don't know. When I first did these records, I took the money out of my pocket and paid for this to be done. And when I did it, I did a deal with a label. And when I went in there, part of that deal was the ownership of the masters and the publishing. And so I was the first guy. I started owning my publishing and my masters in '85. So this thing has turned into more than I even thought, because now you got Miley Cyrus sampling it. You got this artist sampling it. You got reggae artists, pop, soul, whatever it is, and they take pieces of it. You know, Beyonce used our stuff multiple times. And we're not greedy, you know what I mean? We want them to use it, and we also...
Because it extends it. And when they make it popular, somebody else goes, hey, I want to grab it.
Right, and if they sample their record, I get a piece of that record. You know what I'm saying? So this thing is just going on and on.
That's where the phrase "how to make money when you sleep."
Oh my God, man! Even when Biggie did Biggie, 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 can't you? I go to schools and I say, "Do you know that?" And they start singing it. I say, "You know that's my song." They be like, "Are you serious?" So you know what I mean? So I'm catching the younger generation.
Right.
If they not doing the Dougie, they hearing different songs with different samples in it. So I'm so engraved in everything that's going on that you can't even extract me. You know what I mean?
So you saw like Lionel Richie now being on American Idol. It's a whole different generation now vibing to this 70-plus-year-old dude.
Brother, I'm telling you, I'll be feeling so thankful about it because I'm still happy doing it. People are able to use the different things that was created along the way, and there's more creation to go. And I like to collaborate with a lot of the new artists, because to take this energy that I got and put it with what you got, and we combined it, we making something new. That's what I do with Stevie Wonder. I go hang out with him, I'm doing the beatbox, he starts singing, do that again, do that again. You know what I mean? So it's that kind of, you just keep creating, keep being thankful, man, and just, you know, and just take care of yourself. Because, once again, you could be financially rich, spiritually bankrupt, or your health could just be shot. So I think when we look at hip-hop, we got to understand how to put all these things in order. Don't just think about the money.
Right.
You got to take care of yourself, because you can't enjoy yourself. Like when I was telling you out there, when I seen you dancing on the thing, I said, yo, he got a lot of energy, man. I said, and you know I'm keeping it on. I said, yo, you see how he's getting down? I said, this is crazy, but...
And see, all the people on Instagram were like, oh, I know he need to go lay in Epsom salt. I was like, no, I do this all the time.
Bro, you did it on stage with me. Like me and him. He's on stage going in. I'll be like, he goes so hard and I love it. And I
See, I have a simple philosophy. If I go home and my clothes are dry, I'm pissed.
That's right.
But if I got to go home in the hotel and peel my clothes off, I'm like, that was a good night.
That's what I tell people too. I tell them, I say, look, after I finish shows sometimes, I say, look, if you hired somebody to come and do your show and they don't look like this right here, you better get your money back.
There you go.
And they go like this, yes, yes, yes. Because, man, I'm telling you, we got to put everything into it, man. You know, if you really love what you do and you're doing what you love, nobody got to tell you. You're going to do it naturally.
All y'all folks who watch and do understand, I'm Doug's hype man. So he knows when we did the TV One thing, it was so funny. So they were like, who should bring Dougie out? And you were like, yo, Roland should bring me out. Right, and I said, and I told, so Alfred Liggins was standing there, and I said, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. I said, when he go, I said, we go, and he gonna tell me that's your spot right there. Alfred's like, no, he's not. I was like, all right. I went, okay, just watch what's about to happen. And then it happened. He was like, y'all done that before? I'm like, yeah, fool.
Look,
had to let him know.
Look, and you know what's so crazy? We never even rehearsed it. Meaning, like,
I don't even know most places where you are. I would come somewhere, I'm like, Dougie here?
Right.
Let's go see what he doing.
Look, and remember the last journalist thing out in the...
Oh, yeah.
You got me up there. It was because of you.
You were like on the third floor?
Third floor. He was looking, he said... Where's he?
Somebody on stage, they said, hey, Roland, Doug on the third floor. Ain't nobody up there. I was like, I'm going to get him.
Look, he went upstairs and got me and brought me down, and we turned it into something that night. I'm actually doing that this year now.
Okay, at Birmingham?
Yeah.
Well, you know I'm going to be there.
Well, I'm saying, I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know how this is going to go. And it all started from that. See, certain things are just natural, man. There's no forced energy. We just do it. There's no make-believe. You know what I mean? It's so natural that people be thinking, yo, was y'all rehearsing that in the back right there?
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
Crazy, bro.
Drop the beat. It's time to dance.
And it's crazy because now I forgot that you was the one that orchestrated that whole thing. And it's crazy they called me back. They called me back. They said, yo, we got to get you back, you know, because you got on and you did a little something, but we want you to go all the way in. I was like, this is crazy, man. So this is what we do, brother.
That's how it works.
We live in it, ain't we?
Sir. Always good to see you, baby.
Always a pleasure,
sir.
brother.
Yes, sir.
Always.
Keep doing your thing.
Yes, sir. You too.
Yes, sir.
We rolling together.
All right.
Yes, sir.